Hi, I'm Dr. Ken from Trio Health Chiropractic, and today I'm going to teach you how to foam roll your entire spine. So first and foremost, we need a foam roller. And we're going to start from our neck and work our way down. We're going to lay our foam roller flat on the ground. We're going to put the base of our neck right at this foam roller. Now right here in itself, you may feel something of a tension point or a trigger point. And what you want to do is we want to roll side to side, just like that, along the base of the skull to find any type of tension points or trigger points or areas that are kind of like this feel good soreness. So once you find a spot, like for me, I find one right here. What we're gonna do is do chin tucks. So we're gonna now roll up and down, and that's gonna hit a little bit different. And what we wanna do is we just wanna kind of roll this guy out, and then we're gonna scan back around, find a different spot. So I found one here, and I'm just gonna do these chin tucks, just like that. Now, if you need added pressure to take it to the next level, what we're gonna do is use our weight of our hand. So we're just gonna rest forearm right on that forehead and then do the same thing. And you're gonna notice that it's gonna be more pressure, increased pressure. So you may feel a little bit more sensitive. Now it's important that you don't force anything, but it is okay to have a little bit of soreness, that feel good soreness. So I found a spot right here. So we're gonna do a little bit of this chin tuck, going up and down, just like that. And sometimes, because this foam roller is actually tall, it's even able to get this side part of our neck, which is actually a very difficult spot, especially massages and all that. They don't really get these spots. And so it's actually easy just by going this way, almost like as if it's a pillow. And you're gonna do the same thing, roll back and forth. You found a spot, you want to take it to the next level, just raise your hand over, or even just use the weight of this head. You don't have to force anything. And same thing. And that feels actually really good for me, and that's going to be a really good release. It can get rid of your headaches, the stiffness, the tension that you're holding your neck and your shoulders. If you are working on the computer or looking down all day, this is a great one and that I'd like for you to try. Now, when we come back here, what we can do is we're gonna do a little bit of a shoulder stretch and a roll at the same time. So stretch, pull, keep that shoulder down, and then roll. And you're gonna notice that it's gonna hit very deep inside these neck regions. And again, don't force it, but it should be a little bit uncomfortable, but a feel good soreness. So a good sore is what I like to say. And same thing, you're gonna roll right here, up and down, nice and easy, few inches. And you're just gonna hang out right here once you find the spot. So the goal for foam rolling is actually to do a little bit of a trigger point release. This is a muscular release. So you want to hold that same spot. Initially, we were scanning, so we were going side to side, doing chin tucks when we found their spots. However, for me, like right here, this is a good trigger point spot. I feel a pain from a scale of 0 to 10. It's about a 3 to 4. I'm just gonna hold this, that 4, and wait for it to drop to a 0 or 1. I just want at least half of it to go away. So right now it's a 4. I'm gonna just wait here, keep the same pressure. I'm just gonna wait until that pain on my scale 0 to 10 is a 4 right now, for it to slowly melt away. That's the goal while you're using the foam roller. And then you're gonna switch to the other side. Same thing, you're gonna bring that right shoulder down, pull over to the left, to the opposite side, and then you're gonna scan and roll. Find a spot. Once you find the spot, rate it 0 to 10. For this one, it's actually even more. It's about a 5. And I'm just gonna hold this spot and wait for it to melt away. Once it goes down about halfway or even more, wait for it to drop down to a 2 or 3. And then I can find and scan another spot. And that's gonna be the best way to foam roll our neck to get rid of the neck tension, stiffness, and even headaches. Now let's move down to our mid back. For the mid back, we're just simply going to roll this foam roller a little bit down. Now it's important that when you do this, you are facing straight up and you don't go all the way to your lower back, but actually just that lower mid back. Now, first I like to start with my arms crossed because it gives me a little bit more balance. And right here, I'm just gonna relax, breathe, and just scan again. You're gonna go straight, you're gonna go at an angle to your left, maybe about 20 degrees to your left, 20 degrees to my right, and you're gonna notice that it's gonna hit a broad general area of all your mid-back muscles, and that's a great starting point. Now, even just by taking these deep breaths and rolling, you might hear a few pops, self-release pops, and that's okay. That's actually gonna probably feel really good. So you're gonna breathe. Now, if you tilt our neck back and do the same thing, you may hear even more pops. So try that out. You can try at different angles, right in between that shoulder blade. That's a good spot. Same thing to the other side, right in between our shoulder blades. Once you find a spot, you can just hang out here, just like that. Same thing, trigger point release is you rate it on a scale from 0 to 10. Whatever that number is, try bring it down to half. And that's going to be the most simplest way and effective way to actually foam roll our mid back. Now, here's a kicker. If we roll our shoulder or our lats, it will also release some of the tension in our mid back. So right here, we just bring this left arm out over to this side of the mat, and we're just gonna scan again. And man, this is a good one. And that's gonna feel a good release. We're gonna scan first. Once we scan, we find a tender spot, we can even roll forward and back, and it's gonna hit a little bit different. Now, once we find a spot that's a little bit sore, rate it 0 to 10, hold it, wait for that number to melt away down halfway, so about 50% of that number. For example, if this is an 8, we're gonna wait for it to drop to a 4, and then we're gonna scan and find a different spot. Now, if you have even shoulder problems, this is actually a good one for your rotator cuffs. We're gonna lean back a little bit. Make sure our shoulder blades is at an angle, so we're not directly over this foam roller like this, but we're gonna lean back a little more and use our hands to go in and out. And that's gonna hit one of the rotator cuffs, and it's gonna help to release a lot of that shoulder tension. And if you are in sports doing overhead movements, or you don't have the reach overhead, pinching shoulder pain, this is a great one that will help you get rid of those muscular tension. And same thing, you're just gonna kind of scan and find the movements, find the tender spots. If it's here, you're gonna hold here. Same thing, trigger point release, 0 to 10, rate it, wait for it to drop down 50%. Now here's the second part of how to foam roll your upper back. We're gonna actually place this foam roller straight up and down, and we're gonna lie right on top of it. So we want our spine to actually be on top of this foam roller, just like that. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to bring our arms up, and almost like you're gonna punch the sky. You wanna grab this, the ceiling. Once you do that, you're gonna bring this shoulder blade back, and you may hear a pop. Mine just popped just now, and that's a great release, especially if you hold a lot of tension and achiness and stiffness right in between the shoulders. This is going to be a great exercise for you. What you're gonna do is reach up for the sky, hold it for a few seconds, slowly work our way down, and really pinch this shoulder blade against this foam roller, and you're gonna feel a few releases. And you can even kind of massage in between your shoulder blade muscles using the foam roller against your muscles. And again, maybe you'll lean a little bit and focus more on our left sides, or maybe you roll a little bit to your right and you do the same thing but just on your right. so you can focus right in between those shoulder blades. This is a great exercise, a great muscular release. If you find that trigger point or that good soreness right there, you can hold that same thing, trigger point release, which is scale it 0 to 10, whatever that number you come up with, wait for that number to drop about 50%. And that's a great one for me right here. So try it out, roll side to side, squeeze that shoulder blade back against the foam roller to massage and get rid of that tension in between that shoulder blade. That is a very common spot that it tends to get tight for many people. Now we're going to move on to our lower back. And when we bring this to our lower back, it is important, it is crucial that you don't go directly on the spine, just like how we were doing on the mid back. So when we do this, we want to be at a 45-degree angle, either to the left or 45-degree angle to the right, because we don't want to be directly on the spine. We want to get the muscles along the spine, but not directly on the spine. Now that's going to be a big difference. I made a video explaining why we shouldn't foam roll our lower back directly on the spine. So if you want to check that out, there's going to be a more detailed video right here. But to move on, we want to come here, we're going to roll, roll, roll. Same thing, I find a spot, rate it 0 to 10, do a trigger point release. Just breathe through the moments. It's going to take about 30 to 60 seconds. And you just want to hold and wait. Make sure to breathe through your foam rolling experience all the way from your neck, all the way to your lower back. Let's move down to our pelvis. We're going to actually bring our foam roller right under our butt, and we're gonna feel all the way to the crest, the top part of our iliac crest, which is where we like to place our hands when we rest our hands on our hips. Now that top part of that bony area, that's where you're gonna find some tenderness, and I feel some right here, and you wanna stay at an angle first. And as you move this knee up and down, without even moving where our foam roller is, this will help to release that area. But before, you can just scan again and check certain areas. You find a spot, move that hip up and down, and it's just gonna hit a little bit different. And it's gonna be a really nice massage for your glutes. Now when we do this, we can also lean back just like this and tuck in our knees just like that. And that's actually sometimes a great relief for our lower back. You may even feel pop. You may lean to the left and right, doing a little bit of a lumbar rock, which will not only hit the muscles here, but it'll help to actually relax and stretch out the SI joints. And that will be a great release, especially if you are experiencing some sort of SI joint pain. So right here, we will go here. Can lean over. You might want to hold this foam roller so it doesn't roll away, but just going like this, putting our leg on top of our knees and just rocking left and right. You're going to notice a lot of muscle release on that glute region, on the top part of our glutes, and it's going to feel really great. Now I found a spot right here. We're going to hold it and we're going to do the trigger point release, and this is going to be actually very effective even if you have tingling down the leg, sciatica or piriformis syndrome. This is a great exercise to help release the muscular tension that might be causing the entrapment of the nerve, causing the tingling numbness down the leg. Now, the last part, we're going to be using the foam roller in between our knees. Now, this isn't actually to foam roll, but it's actually to help release and mobilize our SI joints. Now when we go here, we're gonna keep this foam roller in our knees and we're just gonna go out and squeeze. And that will not only help to mobilize our hips, which will in turn help release our lower back, but even just by squeezing our foam roller like this, you may feel a pop either in the pubic symphysis, a nice little release, or even a little bit of tension release in the SI joints. And that's going to also help a lot of that lower back pain. So what we can do is just squeeze and hold for 3 to 5 seconds, activate, and then bring it up, and then do a little bit of internal rotation of our hips. And you can tell that my internal rotation is not very bueno. It is not that good, but that's why we work on it. And this is a great exercise to help maintain or regain that internal rotation of our hips, which will help our hip joint itself, and in turn help our lower back and our pain. I hope you found this video valuable. We just learned how to foam roll all the way from our neck all the way to our tailbone to get rid of that muscular tension just using a foam roller. I hope it was very useful. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below which one was the best one for you. Aloha.